Is it router 2, Zach?
Hey there, good afternoon. I'm meteorologist Cutter Martin in the WTOC Storm Chaser with photographer Daniel. You can see just how the setup works there. We're out here driving. It's safe out here in Effingham County, and we are checking out a Honey Ridge Road out here in western Effingham County. And there was a lot of tree debris in this area earlier. We did have meteorologist Jamie Ertl out here this morning checking in on road conditions, and right now we are seeing decent conditions out here. Want to take you outside, show you the roof cam right now. You can see Honey Ridge Road. We're seeing decent conditions. And just to let you know, we are in a more rural area of Effingham County, so the service may be a little bit touch and go, but it looks like we're getting a good feed right now. But in case there is an issue, that may be the cause. Latricia says, hope this is a better cameraman. Uh-oh. Not sure what that's about, Latricia, but looks pretty good to me. Pretty steady camera and decent weather out here. Again, we are in western Effingham County. We drove up 17 to Guyton. Absolutely fine. Honey Ridge Road at the moment. Absolutely fine. Leslie, we are checking out Honey Ridge Road. Nothing in particular has happened, but this area was covered with quite a bit of tree debris earlier this morning. Now we're checking out kind of the hood cam there, the outside camera, and again, everything looking good right now. No major issues, no significant limbs down on the roadway. Same cannot be said for some of the adjacent properties and kind of the right-of-way there, the shoulder area. There have been several limbs and even some larger limbs down on those areas. Danielle says definitely still a little windy out here in Guyton. Certainly is there, Danielle, but no major issues at the moment. Allie, thank you for watching, but down in Savannah, up in here in Effingham, the entire trip was actually pretty decent, Allie. Sherry, you're welcome for the updates. Hope you're doing okay down in Alma. And I'm just going to tell photographer Daniel, you can go ahead at the next option, go ahead and turn back, and we can head back the other way down Honey Ridge. So we're just going to give you a look both directions here, but again, looking pretty decent out here. No major problems moving near or at posted speed limits. Looking back at the signal, looks like we have a pretty good signal, so hopefully you're still getting the feed. I'm having some issues answering questions on social media, but we just wanted to give you an idea, kind of a refresher, a new look at something we've been covering all morning. That has been road conditions across the area and the tree damage that has left some roads, or did for a time, impassable in just a couple of isolated spots. More areas were covered with tree debris, but you could kind of maneuver and drive past it. And good news here in Effingham County, Honey Ridge Road, 119, the vantage point that we could see, the point that we could see of 119, and 17 in western Effingham County, all looked pretty good. 16, we had one little tree down on the shoulder in Bloomingdale in western Chatham County, headed westbound, not blocking any travel. It was no major issue, but just something there on the side of the road. And bringing you back outside to the roof cam, you can kind of see, if you look closely, trees still kind of swaying in the wind. Definitely still is a breezy, if not windy, time out here, but overall no major issues. If anything, because of the lack of rain with this system, especially in Effingham and Chatham counties, it was kind of a dry, tree debris. It wasn't caked to the ground, so it was able to keep blowing on by and blow off of the road once it fell out of the trees and once it hit the ground. All right, finally getting questions coming back in. Kathy, thank you for watching. You rock. Yeah, Julie, now it's Old Louisville Road. We were on Honey Ridge Road earlier. I just probably spoke a little bit too late after we technically got off of Honey Ridge. Now we are headed back that way. Clarissa says, what's the update on Leslie? Leslie's out in the middle of the Atlantic, actually the far eastern Atlantic. It is not going to impact us. It is not going to impact anyone in the United States. Again, no tropical troubles, even though we are tracking a few other systems out there, so that's good news for the moment, but we're not going to turn our backs on it. We'll keep you updated if need be, provide any further updates. Let's see, Ebenezer Road is really windy. Another Effingham County report from Elizabeth. Thank you for that. Day said power came back on. Pretty decent timing. I certainly agree with that. Linda, windy going across Cross Island Parkway. Thank you for that report. Jess says, I missed it. Are you wearing Patagonia? No, I'm just wearing my work WTOC polo here. And Katie, we're driving safe. Thank you for that suggestion. Of course, always working to be safe here. And then David says that is Old Louisville Road. Yes, I did just miss a step there. We were on Honey Ridge earlier. Before that, we were on Sandhill, and now we're on Old Louisville. Kind of that transition across the 119 area there. Deborah, downtown Savannah looks fine. We do have some limbs down, a lot of tree debris down, but it's being picked up pretty quickly. Tree down on 37th Street in Midtown that Meredith Parker, reporter, was covering earlier. But they're working to get all of these isolated instances of more significant tree debris, that may cause an issue out of the way pretty quickly. Shelby, what about the other hurricane out in the ocean? Again, no tropical trouble, folks. If it was an issue, we'd be talking about it. Right now, Leslie, way out, almost scraping Africa, is not an issue for anybody. But we'll keep you updated. If that changes, you'll be the first to know. We'll let you know right here at WTOC. Lori says, wind advisory till 2 p.m. They did cancel the tropical storm warning, but likely, I can just go ahead and tell you we're going to gust above 30 through early to mid-afternoon. So it will be windy through early to mid-afternoon. Ashley says, we're passing your house right now. Well, I'm glad you're part of Effingham County. It looks pretty good. It's gorgeous country out here. We have some limbs down, but overall much better than it was earlier. George says, it's still real windy down here at Steel Bridge. Certainly is the case. Tish says, hey Cutter, all is well off Long Landing Road in Springfield, a little further to the north than me right now in Effingham. Looks pretty good. Rushel says, Rinkin off Weisenbaker is windy but partly cloudy. Yeah, pretty gorgeous out here, definitely clearing out. And now what I'm going to show you, notice here on the road we have just some leftover debris. I'm going to kind of zoom down. You can kind of see the marks there in the roadway. That is all that is left of earlier tree debris. Again, all of the major limbs and stuff, some of which are still down off to the side of the road, have been cleared. So it is much improved, so much better than it was this morning when meteorologist Jamie Ertl drove pretty much this same stretch right now of the roadway. We showed you that live this morning, the news at daybreak. So it is much improved. We're seeing conditions improve and roadway conditions improve along with the actual weather out there. Cynthia says, very windy in Bluffton. Yes, that is likely to continue. You're welcome, Lori. Deborah, have a great day. Danielle says, Rinkin is all good. Everything open on 21. Thank you for that report. Earlier outages likely fixed by now. Marina says, power still off on the south side of the city of Savannah. And they're working. I've seen a couple crews out there earlier this morning, just general work crews. Not sure if they were officially, Georgia Power or Power Crews, but I know that they're out there working to get everything restored. But it may take a while because we do have actual lines damaged. Jess, how long have I been awake? Yeah, a decent amount of time, but others have been up longer, so it's feeling good. It's we're having fun out here in the Storm Chaser, making sure we bring you the latest, I should say, and greatest information. Clarissa, it is better to see. Brad says limbs are still falling, winds are forest. And actually, if we could pull over in this little, I'm talking to my photographer here on the side, kind of this little entrance to the subdivision. I'm going to turn the camera around and show you a limb that is down. So bear with me. I know you're gonna get a little motion sick out here. We're gonna zoom back out. Bear with me. Sorry, folks. I know that was kind of quick as far as the camera turn, but I'm gonna show you some of the tree debris that is down here. Again, we are off the road, safely backing up, and you can see here one of these Bradford pears has lost. Bear with me. Not the best camera operator with one hand right now, but you can see. This is what we're dealing with. It's nothing too major out there, but we do have quite a bit of tree debris down on the roads this morning. Kate, you're welcome. Jamie and I happy to provide the updates for you. Valerie says my lights never went off. Marilyn, glad you love the cap. Rodney, still windy in Hazelhurst, but sunny and beautiful. Katie says, Emmanuel County, is it safe to get out now, or should we let GDOT continue to work? If you don't have to get out, I'd wait a little longer. Again, the damage more significant in Emmanuel County, Swainsboro in particular, likely Twin City as well, maybe even northern Bullock Portal area. So just keep an eye on those areas. Beth says, has there been a confirmation on the possible tornado at Fort Pulaski? Beth, there was no damage on Fort Pulaski, no tornado there, Beth. There was no tornado on Fort Pulaski, but we did have quite a bit of wind in that area. So again, no confirmed tornado. There was a tornado warning, coastal Chatham, portions of Jasper, portions of Beaufort County, but no confirmed damage, no tornado touchdown there. So hopefully this is of service to you. Let's see. Alicia says we do have limbs that are down there. And you know, that's the story I'm going to show you. It's just the things like this. The larger limbs, occasionally a tree or two down. Nothing... I don't want to downplay it, but nothing particularly major here. We did have some roof damage at one residence in Pooler. A limb, it looks like an oak limb, pierced the roof. Pictures of that on my Facebook page, WTOC Cutter Martin. More also on Twitter at Cutter Martin, again, putting out photos. So there has been some damage, and in those isolated, unfortunate cases, of course, wishing those folks the best. But the good news is that it appears to be really isolated, and while it's windy now, we are seeing some improvement going through the day. It'll be windy. Maybe a few limbs continue to fall, but I can tell you with absolute 100% confidence and certainty that the worst is past us. It's just windy, it's partly cloudy, and eventually the winds will calm down as well, getting into this evening and overnight tonight. Marina says, Valerie, you're lucky. Mine goes out all the time when there is a storm. You know, everyone has different stories. Some folks losing power, others are maintaining power throughout the entirety of this event. Sharon says hours down Wilshire Avenue, or down Wilshire, are 5:30 a.m. just went back on. So you've been without power for quite a while. Dave says, where do I sign up to help Florida victims? Not sure. I mean, probably the Red Cross, local service organizations, possibly. Maybe more information at WTOC.com, but more so it's about damage cleanup. It's about insurance first, and then we're going to start getting that information about nonprofits and maybe private organizations that are out there to help the folks. Sharon says, Savannah Powder Coat open for business today. Thank you for that report, letting us know. Maggie says, come on by, you're in front of my subdivision. Well, glad to know that Maggie out here at WTOC viewer, so you know that little Bradford pear limb that's down behind us, and that's what we're dealing with. Again, this is not a major issue, but we do have still scattered power outages. We still have some limbs down. It is good reason, even though, as I show you outside the roof cam, that we have some damage, but the weather is improving. Look at all that sunshine. But it's good that schools are out today. We can get the roads cleaned up. We can safely allow linemen to work on the lines. We can allow power to be restored. We can get back to normalcy, enjoy our evening, try to get back to the normal grind that is the work week, and resume our normal schedules before we really get back into it tomorrow, before we head into a beautiful weekend. And on that note, we're going to be updating the forecast. The news at noon, about to wrap up next 5-7 minutes, but more to come. WTOC.com forecast in the WTOC news and weather apps as well. Again, I'm First Alert meteorologist Cutter Martin, the WTOC Storm Chaser, reporting live in western Effingham County. And I'm going to leave you with this note. Earlier roadways are pretty messy, a lot of limbs down, but the one thing I'm seeing, photographer Daniel as well, huge improvement of roadway conditions, and I think you will be able to navigate the roadways without any significant problem throughout your Thursday afternoon and evening.